Real Madrid has beaten RB Leipzig 1-0, and boy, it was a sweaty game. Now, honestly, I was not expecting the Real Madrid to play like this, especially after we absolutely destroyed Girona 4-0. There was a lot of crucial things that happened in this game that actually allowed us to get the W. Lunin, first and foremost, we have to give him his big like congrats. Lunin had an absolute banger of a game. I mean, this guy was insane today. The amount of saves he did, important saves as well, very important saves. I mean, without Lunin, honestly, I think this would have been scary. And I want to say, if we had Kepa in goal, this would have been a scary game. This would have been a very scary game. There's a few other players I definitely want to point out. For example, Carvajal was pretty good on the right back side. He did get an 8.0 rating, which I do think is deserved. Tchouaméni as a center back, of course, Tchouaméni is not a center back, obviously. So there were some times where he did get caught out of position, and it definitely showed that he was in a center back. So this is not his fault. Of course, we have literally zero center backs aside from Nacho, which we'll talk about him in a little bit. But it's crazy that even Real Madrid Castilla center backs are getting injured. Even Real Madrid center backs that are out on loan are getting injured. Like, what is going on with Madrid and injuries this season? Nevertheless, Nacho Fernandez, I mean, this guy, I honestly don't know what's been going on with Nacho. Maybe it's the pressure that he has to be playing more, because any other season, man, this guy would just turn up after game after game after game, every single opportunity that he got. If he played left back, center back, right backs, but now that he's finally getting his chance to be a starter, I don't know what's going on with him, man. I really don't know. Today he did have more of a decent game than other days, but I'm sure you guys saw that our defense today was just very vulnerable. From minute number 1, we conceded a goal. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But we just look fragile in the back. So I honestly cannot wait to have Rudiger back. Rudiger and Tchouaméni, I think, will be the perfect pairing. I think that's the way we got to do it, guys. That's the way. Even though I know that Ancelotti is going to put Rudiger and Nacho, and Mendy, of course. Mendy has been insane, man. Mendy has been absolutely insane. There's really no complaints for me on Mendy. There are sometimes, a lot of people say that he plays with his boots put on backwards, because his dribbling sometimes is just a bit iffy, his ball control, but sometimes he does pull out some very crazy dribbles around players that you're just like, what did I just watch? Next up, we have Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos, I mean, he's just a pure class, I mean, just, it's wonderful to see him, just talent. It's so easy for him at this age, so easy. And honestly, I'm just happy that we can see him play at this level. A great game from Toni Kroos. Camavinga had a pretty good game as well. He got an 8.0 rating, and I honestly I can't really think of a big mistake that he did in this game, which Camavinga, he's still very young. We have to remember that. He's still very young, but he does make some few mistakes here playing as the holding mid. Defensive, I think the defensive mid role is not much suited, like the pivot role is not much suited for Camavinga, even though he plays pretty well there. I think the role of him playing like where Valverde plays, where he's literally up and down, fits him a lot better. But right now that's where we need him, and that's usually Tchouaméni's role, but Tchouaméni is playing center back, so there's that. And then Valverde, of course, Valverde had a great game today. Honestly, I think Valverde, despite maybe some balls he did lose, some chances he did not take, I mean, this guy he's so good on the ball. I wish he would just use that speed, because he's honestly faster than 99% of the players out there. Honestly, maybe even 100. Maybe Vinny can take him on, but other than that, guys, I think Valverde is faster than everyone out there, so he just has to use that and drive the ball up and create opportunities here. Rodrigo, kind of a slow game for Rodrigo, man. Honestly, I'm not sure what's been going on. There were, I think, 2 chances in this game where I honestly felt like Rodrigo should have put them in, but unfortunately he didn't. So I mean, I honestly think if it wasn't for Jude Bellingham being out in this game, I think Brahim should have started over Rodrigo, or even Joselu. I think Joselu should be starting these games ahead of Rodrigo, because he's just an aerial presence. We already have Vinny on the left. We don't really need two dribbler presences, if I could say. I'm not getting the word right now, but I think an aerial presence in the box right now would probably suit us better. Next up, we have Brahim Diaz, the man of the match. Now, for me, for me, the man of the match was Lunin, but I've seen some posts here saying that Brahim was the man of the match. I guess it's for the goal. I mean, don't get me wrong, Brahim was absolutely insane. He literally looked like prime Messi out there going around players. The goal that he scored, I mean, forget about it. This guy, I mean, he's very underrated. I'm just super happy that Ancelotti Ancelotti is finally giving him chances to show what he can do. He's a bit lucky that Jude Bellingham is injured, but I'm glad that he'll be able to showcase his talent and his skills for us for the next maybe 2-3 games. And then last but not least, Vinicius Jr., who did not get a goal, very well could have gotten a goal. It hit the freaking post and then it still didn't go in, but he was just a presence. He was a presence on the field, a very dangerous presence, and I definitely the defenders Simikan and Klosterman were just on Vinny. They were not keeping their eye on Vinny, off Vinny. So definitely Vinny was a presence, even though he didn't score. Very important in the game. Now I quickly want to look at the offside goal for Real Madrid. A lot of controversy right now with that offside goal. Is it offside? Is it a foul? Is it legit? I mean, obviously I can see all three ways. Apparently it was ruled out as offside, and then later on it was really that the goalkeeper got fouled. It's tough, man. It's tough, and a lot of people are out there saying, yeah, Madrid bites the refs, Madrid this, Madrid. But realistically, this is the way for Champions League, guys. I mean, the owners of this competition, trust me, they do not want Madrid to win this anymore. So that's all I'm gonna say. I really doubt that they could buy the refs from this competition. But you know, football is football. You really never know. It's happened before. The moment he hits that ball, right, Rodrigo is technically the last man there. Off the rip, I mean, honestly, I don't know how the refs call it an offside right away, because I mean, obviously Rodrigo is the last man here, and the guy who scores is one of these two. I honestly forget which one it was. I think it was Sesko. But the real thing you have to pay attention is right at the moment that he hits the ball. And honestly, the moment this happens, you're like, wait, where in the world is Lunin? This man is literally part of where the penalty at. I mean, not that far in, but he was literally out there, and there was no goalie in the goal. So what happened is that Lunin got absolutely just pushed, like if this is American football, pushed into the crowd. And that, obviously, the moment that happens, I mean, he's in his box, so that's an automatic foul. I honestly don't know why the refs called it as an offside initially, but it's not the strongest push. It is just a slight push right here. Look at the player, and boom, knocks him out. It's really just the slightest push, but I mean, any contact with the keeper, you know, technically it's a foul. Let's see it. This is actually a better angle right here. Pushes him. I mean, look, that push literally just kind of throws Lunin off. And then I mean, Sesko is he's just in. So very interesting play, honestly. You guys got to let me know in the comments if you guys agree if it's an offside, if it's not offside. I mean, if it's a foul, if it's not a foul. But I mean, that's right now the talk. A lot of people are saying, why did it get disallowed? Technically that is why, because he pushes Lunin. He pushes Lunin. Simple as that. The only thing I don't get is why the refs called it an offside when it's obviously not an offside. But we will never be able to understand the mind of a referee, unfortunately. But Real Madrid goes to the Bernabeu with a 1-goal lead, which is honestly a very good lead. The away goal rule is no longer implemented here, so it's still an open game. I mean, Leipzig can literally go to Madrid and score 2 off the bat. Things get difficult, but Madrid in the Bernabeu, it's hard to it's tough. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Let me know. Tomorrow we come back with more Champions League games. We have Bayern Munich with Lazio. We have PSG versus Sociedad. I'm definitely going to be watching that one. Hopefully PSG loses. We'll see. Hopefully. If you guys made it to the end of the video, again, I do appreciate your support. Thank you. Hit that follow, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, hit that noti bell. Catch you guys in the next one. And as always, a la Madrid.